Hello, boys and girls. Hello, everybody. I am sorry that I will not be with you for the first week or two of class. So, I cannot be with you, but our classes will be done by video like this, okay? Just for our first few classes. I'll be back with you very soon. So, for our math classes for the moment, you will have a teacher will come in and supervise our class for us. These videos will be available for you in Google Classroom and on YouTube, so you can watch them whenever you want. I will teach you your lesson here. You need to have your pen and notebook ready for all of the classes to write down your notes during class and to do some work during the class and your homework. Everything will need to be submitted through Google Classroom, as you have all used before over last year. Okay, so you should be used to it. If you need any help, one of the teachers will be able to help you to set it up. I don't have your Google Classroom code for you right now, but I will have it for you. I'll make sure you get it for your class. Okay. So, first thing, before you start, please take a minute, get yourself your notebook, your brand new math notebook. Make sure it's a big notebook, not the small one, the big one. Get your pen and get ready to take notes, please. If there's a teacher supervising your class now, can pause the recording, pause the video, and let everybody get a notebook ready, please. Okay, and I will get ready here to start your class. Okay, so now we are M2, big M2 students now. M2, Unit 1. M2, Unit 1, our first unit is called Pythagoras' theorem. Okay, Pythagoras' theorem. Pythagoras' theorem is all about triangles, okay? It's all about a certain kind of triangle. It's called a right-angled triangle. Does anybody know what a right angle is? Yes, a right angle is a 90-degree angle. So if we look here, this is a 90-degree triangle. Okay. Every triangle has got 3 sides and 3 angles. Okay, we've got our 1, 2, 3 angles and 1, 2, 3 sides. If it is a right angle triangle or a 90-degree triangle, one of these angles will always be 90 degrees. Okay, 90-degree triangle, 90-degree angle. This is very important because this, what we are learning, can only be done with a right angle triangle, only with a triangle with 90 degrees. Okay, so what we call it is a right, sorry, yeah, right angle triangle. Right angle triangle, or we can call it a right angle. What a right angle is 90 degrees, as I just said. So let's start here by trying to find which one of these two triangles is a right angle triangle. Triangle number 1, triangle number 2. Can anybody tell me which one of these two triangles is a right angle triangle? Yes, very good, correct. Number 2. Number 2 is a right angle triangle because as we can see here, this angle is 90 degrees. Okay, so everything we do in this unit will be based on 90-degree triangles. Now, in these 90-degree triangles, we have the very important angle, which is the 90-degree angle, as I've said before. And then there's one of the sides that is very important. And that side that is very important is called the Everybody read this? Does this say? The hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. So this is an important side of the triangle. How do we find the hypotenuse? How do we find which side is the hypotenuse? There are two ways to find the hypotenuse. First of all, it is the longest side. Okay, that's the first way we can find it. It's the longest side. So if we look at this triangle here, which side is the longest side? Yes, we can clearly see that this side at the top here, this is the longest side. So this side is the hypotenuse, okay, up here, this side. There's also another way to find it. The other way to find it, it is opposite a 90-degree angle. Okay, so we'll always know which angle is the 90-degree angle, like we have here. So if we want to find the hypotenuse, we just look opposite, opposite the 90 degrees, which points us to this line here, points us to this side. Okay, so we know that this is the hypotenuse. Okay, so our first activity is going to be to find the hypotenuse. So let me draw a triangle for us here. Okay, here we have a triangle. I'm going to name the sides A, B, and C. Now let's find the hypotenuse. HYP is the hypotenuse. Okay. So have a look. Everybody shout out, which side is the hypotenuse? We can look which is the longest side, or think opposite 90 degrees. Yes, good job. It is A. A is the hypotenuse. Let's look at another one. If we look at this triangle here, we're going to name this in a different way here. I'm going to name our sides here A, B, and C. Sorry, I'm not going to name the sides A, B, C. The corners here, or the angles, will be called A, B, and C. So, which one is the hypotenuse? Again, we look for the longest side, or the other way to find, go opposite, opposite the 90-degree angle, which gives us this side here. What do we name this side? We can call this side either a side CB, put a line on top, or we could also call it BC. Okay, whichever one is fine. Okay, call it CB or BC. Okay, so next thing, I want you to find the hypotenuse for these questions. So once I put up the questions, you can pause the video, write them down in your notebook, and do the questions for me. Question 1, triangle 1, and triangle number 2. $90, X, Y, Z. Find for me which side is the hypotenuse equals. And over here, degrees, and this time we're going to call them H, I, J, and again, tell me which side is the hypotenuse. Okay, you can pause the video, write these down in your notebook, and answer the questions for me, please. Okay, so if the teacher needs, you can pause the video, let everybody do it for me. And if you're all finished now, let's look at the answer. Okay. So question number 1. Now the way I will always go in the same way. I always look for the same way. I won't look for the longest line. I will look opposite 90-degree angle. Opposite the 90-degree angle here, we've got Z. Z is our hypotenuse for question 1. Question 2, again, opposite 90 degrees. We've got this line here, which will be either called HJ or JH. Okay, either of these is fine. Okay, so in your homework that I give you, there will be a couple of questions like this also. Okay, make sure it's all in your notebook. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Next step. The next step is the formula. Formula for Pythagoras' theorem. This is possibly one of the most important things that you will learn in math, and probably one of the things that most people remember from math in school. Something that you should always remember. So when we have our triangle here, we have our triangle, our 90-degree triangle, our right angle triangle. Here is the 90-degree angle. And let's call them A, B, and C. First thing, as always, every time you do one of these, first thing we need to do, we need to find the hypotenuse. So let's find the hypotenuse. Opposite 90 degrees, our hypotenuse is A. Okay, So we start a to the power of 2, or a squared. A gamlang solve. Start with that. That's our hypotenuse out here. We're going to say the hypotenuse to the power of 2 is equal to b to the power of 2 plus c to the power of 2. You can also, if you like, you can write this in a slightly different way. You can say a to the power of 2 is equal to c to the power of 2 plus b to the power of 2. It's completely fine. Okay, if you switch the b and the c, no problem. But the hypotenuse always needs to be this one on the outside here. Okay, so the hypotenuse to the power of 2, so a to the power of 2 equals b to the power of 2 plus c to the power of 2. Now let's try another one, another quick example. Let's go with this triangle. I will spin it around a bit. There we go. Okay, so this time here is our 90-degree angle. We're going to name it a little bit differently this time. I'm going to name it A, B, and C. Okay. So when we name it like this, we have to remember that this side here can either be called AC or you can call it CA. Okay? Remember the way to name these sides. Okay, so let's write down the formula. First, let's find the hypotenuse. This side here is our hypotenuse. Okay, opposite 90 degrees. So the hypotenuse is BC. So we say BC to the power 2. As I said, you can write this as CB. CB is okay. BC to the power 2 is equal to CA to the power 2 plus AB to the power 2. Okay, as I said, you can write this the other way. You could write CB to the power 2 equals AC to the power 2 plus BA to the power 2. This is the same, okay? If you change the A and the B and the C, it's okay, no problem. Okay, so that is our formula. This is very important, okay? This is going to be the base. This is what everything that we learn in this unit is going to be built upon this formula. So I will do a couple more examples. Oh, it's a bit big. Let's name this as H, I, J. Okay, again, first thing we need to do, find the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is I. So we can say that I to the power of 2 equals H to the power of 2 plus J to the power of 2. Or equally, you can say I to the power of 2 equals J to the power of 2 plus H to the power of 2. That's fine, no problem. Okay, if you need the teacher to pause for you to write it down, no problem. I'll just give you the time here. Leave it open there for a minute for you to write it down. Take your time. Let's do one more example down here for you. Anti-degree angle. Let's call the sides X, sorry, the corners X, Y, Z. Again, first thing, find the hypotenuse. Opposite 90 degrees, or you can look at the longest side here. So what do we say? Xz to the power of 2 is equal to zy to the power of 2 plus xy to the power of 2. Okay, and again, as before, like when we look at this xz to the power 2, you can write this as zx to the power 2. That is fine. That is no problem. Okay? Either way around. As long as we remember the hypotenuse is the one outside here. Still not the one that is on the outside. And it's equal to the two other sides added together. So now I am going to give you a few questions here to try in class now, and then I will give you your homework to do, which you should also have the time to do in class. Okay, so you should get it all done. Then you can take a photo of your work. You can when you're finished your work, take a photo on your phone and upload to Google Classroom for me, please. Okay. First few questions. I want you to find the hypotenuse. What? See, write down which side is the hypotenuse. Question 2. X, Y, Z. And the hypotenuse is which side? Okay, you can pause the video, take these down, do the question. Next two questions, I want you to write the formula. Question 1. Sides L, L, M, N. So you need to write the formula underneath. Something to the power of 2 is equal to, so just to help you here, we have something to the power of 2 equal to something to the power of 2 plus something to the power of 2. And question 2. E, E, F. Again, these are the corners. And I need you to write the formula here. Something equals something plus something. Okay, next two questions for you. So you can pause the video, write these down, and do the questions in class for me now, please. Okay, and then the last thing for today. I'll give you your homework. So you should have both of these books, okay, or M2 books. First one. Okay, it's going to be textbook. Page 74, question 1 and 2. So if we see here, it's our textbook. Page 74, we got question 1 and question 2. Question 2 is continued on top here. Okay. And then in our workbook, it's actually the same. Workbook, page 74, question 1 and 2. Let's open it up here, page 74, question 1 and 2. One thing to be slightly careful of here, these two final questions, I know the answers are here. Please ignore, in question part D and E, ignore that it says b squared equals. We will do that in the next class, okay? And b squared equals something. I want you to write them all with the hypotenuse on the outside. So for example, for question part D, question D down here, you would be writing 5 to the power 2 equals something, okay? And E, you would be writing s to the power of 2 equals, because they are the hypotenuse, okay? So it's just slightly different to what's here, because we will do that tomorrow, okay? We will extend tomorrow. Okay, so that is your homework. Textbook, page 74, question 1 and 2. Workbook, page 74, question 1 and 2. You should have time to complete it all now in class. Please do so and send to Google Classroom for me. I will check your homework. If it is not sent within 2 days, within 1 to 2 days, you will not get the points. Okay, it needs to be sent early. Do not wait 3-4 days to do the work. I will be checking the work straight away the day after class, and I will check it one time. Okay, if the work is not sent, sorry, you won't get the points. Okay. Again, I am sorry I cannot be there at the moment, but I will be back with you as soon as I can. Okay, thank you all. I'm sorry it has to be this way for the moment, but I'll see you soon. Okay, goodbye, everybody.